Morning friends, let's start the timer, 40 minutes timer. We want to start on time and finish on time. Thank you so much to the organizing committee of Adolescent Con. As the experts have already been introduced, I'll just start with the presentation. And while I give you a presentation, I thought since last 7 years I've been given only a one topic, that is a digital wellness, digital wellness. I thought why only me? Because they thought I'm a screen addict. I'm using the screen all the time, and who better can tell the de-addiction than who is addicted. So that's maybe the reason they are giving me this topic. But then let me tell you friends, if using mobiles or scrolling reels on Instagram was an Olympic sport, then half of us would definitely get the gold medals. Because that is the definite use worldwide which is happening. And you know, today's adolescents, they listen more to Instagram DMs than to your talks. And that's the reason this time we say, खाली पड़ा है मेरे घर का आंगन और खुशियों का संग, मिलजुल कर खेलने वाले अब मोबाइल से कर बैठे रंग. With this, data says every 7 minutes you check your phone once just to check it's not dead. मतलब जिंदा है ना, ऐसे check करते हैं. So in this presentation of 40 minutes, ma'am, they will be actually checking the phone 6 times. बट यतेश सर डिजिटल बाबा का कर्स है, अगर मेरे सेशन में मोबाइल देखा तो मोबाइल में कीड़े पड़ेंगे, मतलब वायरस आएंगे, बैटरी डेड हो जाएगी, फोन घंटों चार्जिंग में रखेंगे फिर भी चार्ज नहीं होगा, एंड मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट तुम्हारी गर्लफ्रेंड और बॉयफ्रेंड का जब भी मैसेज आएगा तब बात नहीं कर पाओगे. सो बी अटेंटिव टू दिस सेशंस एंड विद दिस वी स्टार्ट द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन, that is digital wellness. And for this, we do have our experts, and I'll ask my first expert, Nirmala ma'am. Ma'am, what is digital wellness actually?
Yeah, digital wellness, when you talk about it, it's really promoting health, but balanced use of digital technology, wherein but ensuring that the digital media supports development, well-being, the habits. What are the key components of digital? Whenever the digital usage is being done, it has got its own advantages and disadvantages. So when we look at it, you have to balance the digital and non-digital life. That is, you maintain the timing for your physical activity and maintain the time for the sleep as well as the social interactions, not at the cost of these studies and creative play. And maintain the quality. So that is the quality, what is being viewed has to be checked so that the children or the adolescents don't get into trouble or some social issues. And supervision and control should be maintained by the guidance by parents, the caregivers, and the schools in self-regulation and maintaining some boundaries and awareness and routine. So monitoring the screen exposure and integrating the digital wellness into the healthy habits. This becomes very important. So not only the balancing quality supervision and awareness, but you need to set the boundaries, what can be seen and what not to be.
And even we have some guidelines for the screen.
Yes.
Please
So
elaborate on that also.
whenever we are talking about the screen time, these days we see that the parents say बच्चा खाता नहीं है इसीलिए थोड़ा फ़ोन दे देते हैं, iPad दे देते हैं तो खा लेगा. So less than 2 years, no screen time. So 2 to 5 years it should be less than an hour, and 5 to 10 years it should be limited to less than 2 hours in a day of screen time. And basically what we are looking at is the screen time should not replace the physical activity as well as the study periods or the social interaction, because whenever you see the relatives come in, cousins come in, usually you see they used to play and interact with each other. These days you see everybody is with their cell phones, not interacting much. So this should be avoided, and content must be educational and age appropriate what they are seeing in the on screen, and it should be non-violent. And the family, schools, and the pediatrician should monitor the record the exposure and detect signs of addiction. And sometimes see what we have seen in Nepal, the digital, I mean the internet gone out, and there is so much of uproar. There are other issues, but this has made the youth come onto the streets. So that is, and also check for cyberbullying and seek help whenever needed. So look for the danger signs.
Yeah, so perfectly said. So most important message which we want to give is screen while adolescents are watching. At that time, the most important is a co-viewing. I remember when I just had this book, Not Just a Son and Not Just a Daughter, a chapter is there, a co-view. While seeing a movie, Krish, my son asked, Papa, काल तेरी तो फट गई का मतलब क्या? While seeing a movie PK, he asked, Papa, ये condom देख के सब भाग क्यों रहे हैं? And the recent one, Sitare Zami पे, when Lotus says, my girlfriend is a prostitute, my 15-year-old daughter asked, Papa, what is prostitute? Okay, so when they watch screen, it is always a co-viewing or a discussion about screen should be there. So moving to a real case, this is a 14-year-old Priya who actually insists that she should have her own smartphone because all her friends have one and her brother Prem is also having the smartphone. The father has gifted the iPhone on birthday. Dad says boys get phones earlier anyway. Now that is this type of dad. So the question to our audience, to our experts, what is the right age to give child their first smartphone and should it differ for boy and a girl? Ajay sir, please.
So good morning. There's lots of peer pressure. If one of the friends get a phone, everyone is after your life. मैं उसको तो है phone, उसके पास भी है, भाई के पास भी है. So it becomes very difficult situation. But getting your child first smartphone is a decision that should require some planning and conversation. You have to set boundaries. You have to discuss with them. You have to sit with them. This is allowed. This is not allowed. And they must have a password which is known both to the parents as well as to the child. So smartphones provide an access which is provide them a greater independence. They can out on the internet anywhere and can download anything. So you have to set again boundaries that this app you can download, this you cannot download. And with a good combination of expectations, conversations and phone settings, you must have some kind of antivirus, and there are now even apps available which can block the content which are not suitable for children. And most important is brain's executive function, which is crucial for decision making, and self-control develops only by the age of 10 years. So if we provide a smartphone before that, this control gets haywire. So we can give them a feature phone, a keypad phone, if we need to remain in contact with them, but only after 11 to 12 years is the ideal age when the children should get a smartphone. And if they get a excessive screen time before this age, it will affect their attention time also. Nowadays, attention is limited to 10 to 15 seconds. If you don't like something for 10 seconds, you just switch over to something else. So that is also getting affected because of earlier exposure. And so ideally, if the mental facilities are well developed, 11 to 13 years is the ideal time, but set expectations. And we must follow the school rules, because sometimes schools may not allow this. So you have to tell them, if you're carrying a phone to the school, either there should be a locker facility available in the school, and in some Western countries they have a kind of lock. They put the phone in a lock box, which can be opened once they are leaving the school. And but age difference between boys and girls, there is not much. If mental facilities are well developed, but only these are the apps which can, as per IAP recommendations, Facebook, Twitter, etc. WhatsApp should be after 16 years as per IAP guidelines. And
Sorry to interrupt, but people are clicking the photographs. Click the photograph of Ajay sir. He will just share the PPT video immediately after the session. So just concentrate on Ajay sir. Yeah, sir, please.
And PUBG, etc., because these are violent games, should not be allowed before 18 years of age. And some games which involve lesser violence, they can be allowed little earlier. And can I have next slide? So if the mental development is good, but we have to have different perspective for boys and girls, because in cases of girls we must be concerned about the safety, privacy and social media awareness, and because sometimes they may get a different negative body image. And for boys, we must be aware about what they are downloading, and we have to check their gaming, and sometimes they are on the violent games, and we have to look for pornography, etc. also for boys.
Yeah, thank you so much. Now, as sir said, ideally there is no single right age. I mean, if you ask that whether should I give a phone at 11, 12, 13, the same way the prefrontal cortex matures differently. We all know that it matures by 25 years, but we have seen adults in which the prefrontal cortex is never matured. So, no right age, but yes, as sir already said, with typical things to be kept in the mind, we can give it. Now, it happens that you agree to your child's request. Parents also agreed to Priya's request, gifted her the iPhone 17 because there was a long queue and waiting, but they wanted to give the latest one. The thing is, now she's spending late night scrolling or a doom scrolling, what we say, on Instagram. She sleeps only for 4 to 5 hours and dozes off during the online classes, and her grades are also decreasing. So, with this smartphone use, there are some risk which comes with the unlimited screen time and media exposure. So what are that, please, Kalyani?
Yes, unlimited screen time and media exposure has got huge risk, which has got a spectrum which goes from physical, mental, emotional, neurodevelopmental, as well as social functioning, and also safety and ethical risks. So what are these risks? So as already we were discussing, that it can have impact on the brain development. They have cognitive as well as academic. How that happens is your focus decreases, your memory decreases, your executive functioning decreases. You are not able to have an attention span which is giving you a good academic performance. Sleep is hampered because of the blue light. As we all know, melatonin is suppressed, which eventually causes the quality of sleep, the duration of sleep to get hampered, and leads to daytime sleepiness, which eventually affects academics. Emotional and psychological level, there is huge impact because excessive screen is known in a lot of research to have increased the symptoms of anxiety, depression, aggression, then anger issues. These all increase. Also, when they are online all the time, what is happening? They are exposed to peer comparison, cyberbullying, and then lot of curated media which is coming to their way. That leads to the issues with self-image, body image. Again, there are chances of addictions like gaming addiction, then binge watching addiction, and so on. Physically, there are a lot of consequences, like when they are sitting for a longer duration, then metabolic health effects like obesity, there can be musculoskeletal strain, then they can have issues with their eyes like eye strain, then they can have headaches, there can be progression of myopia. These are physical effects. What social and developmental? Because they are valuing that online interaction more, they are interacting less socially, less with their peers. This results in less communication, less scope for development of social skills like problem solving, empathy, conflict resolution, and developmentally it has got huge effect on how they become a good adult in their future. And all we know that safety and ethical risk, when they are there online, they are always exposed to online predators. They can they can be bullied, there can be cyberbully, there can be cyber crimes that can happen to them. They can share information about themselves which can get them into a lot of problems in future. Also, there can be exposure to a content which is not for them. That can lead to that glamorization of unhealthy content, like they start glamorizing violence, they start glamorizing unhealthy relationships. So these all are the impacts which can be there on adolescents when they are online all the time.
Yeah, thank you so much. So rightly been said, there are plenty of disadvantages. Anything in excess is always bad. Then, for this, we must educate the parents that you should guide your child for the social media uses effectively. The reason being, there are plenty of cases which have been reported which says that excessive social media uses has lead to all these effects which Kalyani has already been narrated. So Ranjit, how do we tell parents regarding this?
So as parents, we have a responsibility to guide our children responsible social media usage. So first, we should have an open communication. We should have an open and honest conversation about the social media experiences, concerns and feelings. And we should not be non-judgmental, and it should be non-judgmental, and it will build trust and helps in the communication easier. And we should have set boundaries. We should set an boundaries and guidelines for social media use, where to use, the screen times use, etc. And including the screen time limits, and some apps, as Ajay sir mentioned, should be restricted based on the age appropriate content. And online behavior, how to use the words when using comments in the social media, and also how the parents are expecting from their kids to be use their social media also. And we should regularly monitor the social media activity. In what in there is Android, there is a digital wellness app. We can set the times for each apps, so we can monitor their activities also. And while respecting the adolescent privacy, we should have some access to their passwords also. And we should ensure that they are following guidelines. We should check their profile and they are following guidelines effectively. And we should also educate them about the potential risk. As we know, the cyberbullying is more happens for the adolescents. So we should tell them about what is cyberbullying, what are the online predators are there, and if they post all the contents in the social media, it will make digital footprints in the online media. So we should have a WW approach. First W means who the teenagers meet online. The first W1 risk are they will meet strangers. There should be chance of bullying. They should get bad advice from the strangers also. There will be chance of pornography also. So that is the first W, that is who the teenagers meet online. Second W is what they do online. As the W2 risker, they are more exposed to cyber crimes and also money loss. They will be involved. They will be storing their parents' credit card or some debit card in the online games to access the further rounds. So there will be chance of money loss. There will be excessive stress for the kids, whether they are addicted to game addiction, etc. And chance of bullying is also there. And also third W, where do they go online? So what are the sites they are focusing? There will be watching pornography. There will be chance of more disastrous gaming, and there will be chance of bullying, and they will get wrong advice also. So we should tell them three approaches: who, what, where. That is the WW approach. And every major city has a cybercrime branch. If they are cyberbullied or any gaming money loss, we should report him. And if there is no number access, just dial 1098 if you are in trouble.
Yeah, fine. So, as already been said, yeah, please continue.
So we should promote digital literacy, teach critical thinking skill to evaluate the online information, identify misinformation, and recognize online manipulation also. And we should encourage responsible behavior, and we should make them to foster a sense of responsibility for their online actions, including respecting others' privacy and boundaries also. And as parents or caregivers, we should be lead by example. As our moderator rightly said, model healthy social media behavior. As adolescents, learn from parents and other elders' hobbies.
Thank you so much. So now as we are moving forward, I'm just clicking a photograph and I want to post it. I'm seeing in the frame Sandeep and Amog. So somebody said, Snehal said me, Sandeep just proposed Amog. So should I post this on social media? Yes or no? No. Why? Privacy. Okay. First and most important thing, anything which the people or adolescents are posting on social media, they should follow the think mnemonic. That first, is it the truth? T for truth. It's not truth. I know both of them. Both of them are my good friends. That nothing has happened. But just to do a bully, I'm posting it, that can cause a problem. H is helpful. Is it helpful? यतेश सर को inspiration मिल जाएगा क्योंकि मैं भी करता हूँ. नहीं. So not inspirational also. Is it necessary? This is an educational conference. I don't need to post this content in the delegate group. And is it kind? Not at all. So before they post anything, it should be a think mnemonic. If it fulfills, then that is the common message which we want to say. Now Ranjit, when you said the WWW approach, now these parents found that Prem was actually becoming a game addict, playing the online games for 7 to 8 hours. In past, we have seen a Delhi case in which an adolescent boy stabbed a family member 17 times just because the parents said no for a PUBG game. So gaming is fun, but when it does become a gaming disorder, and what are the early signs and practical steps the parents can take? Kalyani, please.
very important. As you have already said, kya gaming is fun. That means when they are using it for recreation, then it's okay. But you need to monitor them. So when it becomes a disorder, the three major things you need to remember as a pediatrician. First is that recreation becomes compulsion. It is, they cannot live without that gaming. Second is their priorities change. Their change in priority is for they are not having their schoolwork done, they are not having their hobbies, they are not following, their sleep is disturbed, even their routines are disturbed. And third one, most important, even they know the harms what are happening to them, they are not able to control. So three things will define what is gaming disorder and gaming for recreation. So how we should, as a pediatrician, diagnose a case of a gaming if it comes to you. So there has been a definition of gaming disorder in DSM-5 criteria, and there are enumerated 9 total symptoms, and if out of those 9, 5 are present, 5 or more are present for a duration of 1 year, then we diagnose them as a gaming disorder, as a disease per se. But what are the warning signs? Because we don't want them to go there. We need to catch them early. So what we need to focus is, first and foremost, preoccupation. They are always thinking about gaming. Even if he will say, मैं homework करूँगा, लेकिन मुझे game मिलेगा क्या? मतलब there is always the thought process about gaming. There is loss of control. They are unable to stop that 5 minutes or 5 minutes or 5 minutes kind of thing they will do. There will be neglect, as I discussed, to their homework, their routines, their self-care, and there will be withdrawal. Withdrawal is when they are not gaming, they are either irritable, they are angry, or they are sad. There is escalation. Initially they used to play half hour and they were happy. Now they are playing for 1 hour. Still they are not getting any good mood after that. And there is social impact. Initially they used to play, meet friends. Now they are withdrawing from all their social relationships. So these are major things. And two more things are here, that when they start lying about their digital time, they are lying that the time they are spending. And second most thing, important thing is that they also use it to escape from their negative feelings. Whenever they are feeling sad or they are stressed, they are angry, they will go to gaming to find solace in that. So these all are the symptoms we should look for, and how as a parent we should manage this, and how as a pediatrician we should know. The most and foremost most important is open conversation. As Ranjit said, it should be non-judgmental. Parents come to me और वो उसके सामने वो बच्चे को ये तो गेमिंग एडिक्ट हो चुका है, and you should look at the face of that teenager. The first and foremost is, please don't label them. Be non-judgmental. If you want to win this battle, you should be the team. You should not be opposite each other. So when the conversation is there, you should be telling your teenager that this is causing you harm. Let's sit and form some healthy boundaries. And I'll tell you, if your teen is already using 8 hours, 6 hours gaming, please don't stop it immediately. He will go to another addiction because his dopamine balance is already disturbed. So what you need to do is step down the time gradually, and it should be done in a very calm and non-judgmental manner, without aggression, without control. And these modeling balance, monitoring content, we have already discussed with Ranjit, already has described them. Encouraging alternatives is something which should be done, because that cheap dopamine should be replaced by healthy dopamine. Healthy dopamine आता है आपके hobbies से. It comes from your drawing, either singing or plays or these kind of recreation. So आपका बच्चा किस में अच्छा है? Just get back to that hobby again. And seeking help on time is really important. Whenever you see these red flags, you need to consult your pediatrician for further guidance.
So, you know, as I said in beginning, I am a digital media addict, so I've been given this session. All experts are also digital media addicts. They get a good dopamine kick by lectures of a media. That's what they are saying. So in a nutshell, what Kalyani says for a gaming disorder, the Kalyani tip is keep boundaries clear. Actively engage them. Lead by example. Be a good role models. Your connection matters the most. Acknowledge their stress. Notice the warning signs early. And Deepaben, PDF avi jashe. Involve the professional help. That is the most important thing. Now, when we said this, at that time, parents, the Priya confessed to her parents that she has been gifted a mobile phone, but now she has been bullied online by someone who was sexting her. Now, this is a new term. So I want Nirmala ma'am, please, can you just say what are sextings, what are the hazards, and how to deal with that?
Well, what we understand by sexting is, or sex texting, it is sending or receiving sexually explicit or suggestive text messages, images, or videos via phones or internet. It can have nude or nearly nude selfies or videos showing nudity or messages that propose sexual acts. And this may involve the minors, that is the teens, and this raises important legal, ethical, and safety issues because this leads to unknowingly these teens take selfies and share it, and that may get circulated. So if you see the various studies, this happens right from as low as 2% to 20% and as high as 60%. When you see the studies, unintentionally or intentionally, they send it to a close friend, and that without the consent of the sender, it will be shared in 50% of the times, and to unknown people 1/4 of the times. So here this becomes very, I mean, it will have a psychological impact, and there is the risk for blackmailing by sharing these videos or the bullying. So, and it is unsafe, and sometimes what happens, this leads to emotional hurt, and they may go into depression, and they may or may not be able to tell to their parents that this has happened. This leads to them losing self-control and having scholastic backwardness, because this leads to a lot of stress, sleep deprivation, and also the social and peer consequences, in the sense that they may not be very comfortable with their friends because they don't know that these things have been shared, and their peers may have the issues with their friendship and things, and also they will have long-term impact on their career and studies. So this becomes very important, and how do we manage this? So how parents and teachers can address it without shame? So first thing is, do not blame it. So the most important, have empathy and try to sit with them and then discuss, so that the adolescent should feel comfortable speaking to you or talking to the parents or the caregivers, and also in this respect their privacy, and let them be part of the deciding what steps to be taken up. And age appropriate honest conversation should happen, so that the adolescent will open up and discuss in a non judgmental way, so that things have to be sorted out rather than blaming a person. These things have to be sorted out, and also prevention, and also make them aware that what are the risks involved and what are the legal aspects that come into this the issue. So teach digital skills and decision making and consistent messaging. The parents, the school teachers, and the caregivers should be on the same line, so that the adolescent does not get confused. And also provide resources with respect to the counseling, helplines, and mental health services, and the school counselors, and the knowledge of legal rights has to be done. So this should be one thing, is because adolescents are just developing the brain function with the cognitive aspect. So you need to one-to-one interaction.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So there are some other examples of the digital lingo or sexting messages which are also there. When I search on Google, give me some sexting messages, he give me the booklet. This is a total book. There are books written how to do sexting. Okay, so there are books also available. If somebody wants to read, they can just buy it. But then, yes, sir, can you just give some examples of other the sexting and their meanings? Yeah.
Teens have developed specialized lingos. They are aware the parents may be watching, so they have lingos for that also. Like if you see, parents are P911, that is parent alert, or parents over the shoulder POS. And initially they used to have something like ASL, age, sex, and location. But now they have specialized into IDK, I don't know, because sometimes we get messages even from our kids, and we have to decipher it, what they are trying to say. So, and they have almost small lingo for everything. They are using the normal language very less. So parents are watching PAW and TTYL, talk to you later, direct message, that is now common. But just for fun, GTG, got to go. These are the normal lingos parents must be aware of what the teens are trying to interact with each other.
So, as you said, when they are dealing with the adolescents, one of the time my school sessions, one of the boy, while I was speaking something, he said, it's Nagi. I said, Gujarati jeshan khabar hai ki Nagi એટલે શું? So, I was shocked, what is this? Then he said, sir, it's not a good idea. So, that is a short form. Same way, digitally, they are using so many messages or a sexting terms that will be actually, we should know that. Say for example, GNFC. Again for Gujarati, GNFC is Gujarat Narmada Fertilizer Chemical Company. Okay. But for digital lingo, it is get naked in front of camera. Okay. So that is these type of activities are happening. They may be using a simple terms also like LMIRL. That is, let's meet in real life. Okay. Because these are the things which they are using. Even the adolescent series, if somebody has seen, there were some digital lingos in which a fruit is considered as a penis. I mean, this type of things are also been shown into that. The buds means some fruits. These things are also happening in that. Even the names of the countries they are using for the sexual activities which we may not be knowing. Say for example, USA, we may know only a Donald Trump, but for them, it's an underskirt activity. Okay. So this type of things are actually happening with them, and for that, we must know what is the terms being used by them. So Ranjit, can you just say a few more digital dictionary populars?
And there are so many popular digital dictionary. Popular slangs, as some examples are slay. That is to excel, to do exceptionally well. You slayed your presentation. And buzzing means something that is extremely good or exciting. This buzz is buzzing. We use fire as normal time. They use fire as amazing or impressive. This concept is fire. And glow up, the transformation of makeover from bad to good. And example like your new haircut is a great glow up. That's they used. And risk, we term risk as Maruti car, something they use risk, charisma, you got mad risk. And sim, someone who had crush or someone who is overly invested. And he is such a sim for her. And stand. Yeah. The obsessively fangirl or fanboy for someone or something. I stand that BTS band. That is the social interaction they are using. And they are used in the terms like humor and sarcasm also. Cap. They are using cap like lying or exaggerating. Stop capping, that is not true. I mid, there is a mediocre or average. This movie is a mid. I didn't like it. We couldn't understand the term, whether we don't know it. And eat, to throw someone hard or with force. I eaten my phone across the room. We will not understand the time, otherwise we know it. And farm, other useful terms is farm, short for family. I used to describe close friend. What's up in the family? What's fam? And delulu means someone who is delusional or ignoring reality. You are delulu if you think you can finish project on time. And extra means someone who is being over on the top or dramatic. You are so extra, calm down. That we should understand some of the times, as moderator rightly mentioned, there are so many times.
Yeah. So there are so many types, and that must be known, because knowingly or unknowingly, if they are into this type of activities, sometimes they make a group, they make a buddies. Even we have seen on Instagram, there was a rooms which were being made, and they are actually doing the bullying. So there are some types of bullying which are happening, and I would like to know from Kalyani, what are the common types of cyberbullying these adolescents are doing?
Dr. Prasad, 4 minutes more.
Yeah.
What is
6 minutes timer is showing. Yeah. I am very much particular about the times. Don't worry, ma'am. Yeah.
So cyberbullying, as we all know, that any form of harassment which is happening on the digital media, digital platforms, it can be messages, it can be abuse, it can be sharing images. So cyberbullying is of real concern for adolescents, because it is not something which someone says on your with you in person. It is something which is there on the digital platform, which is permanent, which is persistent, which is viral, and which is virtual. So it has got a long impact on emotional and psychological health of adolescents who are facing cyberbullying. If we see the data, almost 35 to 85% of adolescents are bullied all over the world. But one fact I will like to share is, if we see other countries, then adolescents there are more open to acknowledging it and telling it to their parent. 80% of them will go and tell an adult that I am facing this. But if you come to India, it is just 35 to 40%. So they can suffer in silence and you may not know. So for us as a parent and a pediatrician, it is important we know all these terms and we know what is happening to them. So what is
So a rapid fire for you fast because we are having 5 minutes.
So
what is trolling?
Trolling is sharing abusive messages online. Specifically, it is done for fun, but then explodes into a huge thing.
Doxing?
Doxing is something sharing information about someone like address, number, anything about personal information.
Catfishing?
Catfishing is something someone posing as someone else and doing manipulation and deceiving. Flaming is again done with platforms, major platform, and it is again sharing a lot of messages and negative information about someone. Stalking is persistently following some person on all the platforms and harassing. And harassment is more or less of all of these cyberbullying.
So when we say these types are possible, then Ranjit, how do you prevent cyberbullying?
So, smart way of managing cyberbullying. First, we have to stop the messenger use, and we have to block the user and messenger to be blocked. And we should take a screenshot and always preserve the evidence. We have to submit into the cyber police and retaliate never and take action. We have to report it. We have to report to the parents or caregivers, or it is school related to teachers, and cyber reporting. And we should have a cyber crime number, the www.cybercrimegovernment.in, or call 1930. That is a stop messenger, a smart way of managing cyber.
So that is the most important, 1930 or cybercrime. Just to give you a latest example, before coming to this Adolescent Con, I got a message from Dr. Sunita Arora from Amritsar. I'm in an emergency, please transfer me 50,000 rupees. I will immediately transfer you after 1 hour. My GPay is not working. I know this is a scam. I have done a long chat, got the bank details. He said GPay. I said GPay is not possible. Give me the bank details. I have done a cybercrime with the help of Manmit Sodi, revived the phone, and even the complaint was made against that person, and that person is in trouble. So smart ways should be done. Now, it happens last thing that many a times adolescents are watching and sometimes the pop-ups comes or they are addicted to a porn. So what are the effects of watching pornography, Ajay sir, on teens?
As we have already discussed, their prefrontal cortex is not so well developed and they do not have a good self-control. And once they are watching pornography, sometimes they may get links which are unintentional, but once they get into it, they try to keep it more. So most of the time the porn will portray unnatural sex, and which is almost impossible in real life. And this leads to big depression, especially in boys. And it's viewed only as a physical act, not as a pleasurable activity or out of love or something. It's just physical act. And it portrays women as sexual objects. So they start imagining everyone in the real life also as sexual objects. And it perverts his concept of women, and if it leads to addiction, they are getting more into it, and they can be even cyberbullied, and they can have very much negative impact in their emotional, psychological, sociological, even physical health. So it's affecting their life in most of the ways.
Yeah, there can be depressive symptoms, the sexual aggression, low self-esteem, and poor body image. Even the behavioral issues can also be there. And most important, decreased respect for the other sex. That is the most important thing. So how do you talk about this to pornography with a child?
So as we had been discussing with other issues also, most important thing is communication. Keep the communication lines open at all times, and do not be judgmental. So you're watching this, I'll stop this, I'll take away your phone, or I'll take away your device. Build a dialogue and try to look for some situation there which can lead to this healthy discussion also. So first try to take something out of intense emotion, like once you watch porn, what do you feel? And how can you feel comfortable while talking to them? And are you excited, disgusted, attracted, or disinterested? And parents talk through some of the details of porn to point out problems with expectation and intimate behaviors. Like whatever is being portrayed is not real. This is not possible in real life, and this will lead to your even own sexual life will be affected in the later time, because you'll have very unrealistic expectations. And explain the difference between the real loving and mutually respectful romantic relationship and the destructive dynamics and meta messages being depicted in the pornography.
Thank you so much, sir. So most important is keeping the conversation going on time. I mean, keep it live. You may not have all the answers. It's okay. Ben, then you can say your honesty that I don't know, we will talk it later, or we can take a help of someone's. So that is normal things. And now this is a era of AI. So we will be ending our presentation with the last message that how parents, schools, or you can teach children to use AI apps and take responsibility. And is digital literacy becoming as important as traditional literacy, Ranjit?
Yes, we are in the era of AI, so we have so many apps, ChatGPT, we are fond of Gemini images also. So we should learn the adolescents, we should teach the adolescents about the ethical use and integrity. We're searching for a academic content, we should, any academic, we should use it ethically, and we should not copy it from ChatGPT and all. And we should help them, rather than the AI, we should ask them to read the textbooks and newspapers. They should also able to help them in critical thinking also. As we had described, the digital literacy education is utmost important, and we should have a privacy and safety awareness to have the password safe and custody, and they should be reported if there is any hacking occurs. And we should promote human skill. Rather than online interaction, face-to-face interactions will promote the human skills and empathy. And also we should have textbooks learning also, and also there will be AI based or internet based learning. There will be collaborative learning or co-vi learning also will be there.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we finished on time with a take-home message of a 1 more minute that parental role is active. Co-viewing, guiding, it's not just being a police to them, but it's most important. The red flags do matter. Watch for the sleep disturbance, the poor grades, the irritability, the secrecy. Age appropriate assess, no screen below 2 years, that's fine, but first phone only after 11 to 13 years with supervision. As Ranjit has already said, the Google has already been given an application, a digital wellness app by which a parental and child control can be there. iPhone users, screen time, family sharing should be on. That is most important. Social media rules, is it a truth? I mean, the think mnemonic, they should follow that, and most important, follow the age limits, teach privacy and safety. No need to go for the dopamine rewards, and keep the accounts open and accessible to all. The healthy balance between a digital use with play, studies, family time and sleep, that means the green time, and addiction alerts if it is happening in form of a gaming, binge use or obsession, needs early limits and help, and no compromise on content. The quality should be more than the quantity, and prefer the educational, safe and non-violent things. And most important, T is teach by examples. A parent's screen habit becomes child's screen habits. I still remember when I was the president of Surat Pediatric Association in 2018, my screen time was 7 to 8 hours, and my first article appeared in a newspaper. When you are at home, don't use mobile or phone. And my son said, Papa, pehla tame to follow karo, pachi bija ne ko. Thank you so much.